La mayoría de las personas se consideran individuos, como si no hubiera nadie en el planeta como ellos. Este pensamiento los motiva a levantarse de la cama, comer y caminar como si nada. Este video trata sobre una Mac.
As a young child, all modern technology seemed impossibly out of reach. The bombastic designs, the gimmicky but endearing feature sets, and that sheer volume of variety that once overwhelmed us we find ourselves yearning for in these more trying times. But nothing else proved to be more distant to me than the ability to merely claim ownership of one such Apple product. That sleek aluminum unibody design, a user interface beyond anything William Henry III could ever muster, an all-encompassing facet holding the processing power of tomorrow, today. My dream machine, or as I thought it to be so back then. Since that time, I've owned numerous laptops, built many computers, performed various upgrades, purchased several peripherals, all to enhance my computational ventures, and yet, this old MacBook has impressed me more than anything I have built or bought in the last 10 years. How is this possible? The model I have here with me today is the mid-2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch, powered by a third-generation Intel Core i5, 16 gigs of RAM, and that oh-so-lovely 500-gig Toshiba drive. On paper, the specs alone don't seem to stir much excitement, but for a $1,200 laptop, where has that money gone? For the longest time, this is what I would ask myself anytime I came across a Mac, until I actually used one, and I gotta say, I've used laptops that cost more than twice this MacBook's original MSRP, and they don't feel anywhere near as solid as this does. Again, a $1,200 laptop in its prime, just the process of booting it up, opening a Word document, and typing a paragraph alone compared to any Windows 7 machine at the time will show you just where most of that price alludes to. Again, it just feels nice. All of these years later, and this laptop still feels like a premium product. Amazingly, nothing has worn out on this MacBook at all. The backlit ABS keyboard, the glass trackpad, even the anti-reflective coating on the display hasn't peeled. I could go on about this computer's build quality, but before I inevitably get ahead of myself, why don't we see how it games? Yeah. I gotta admit, I was wholly skeptical of the kind of performance I would be able to get out of any old computer lacking a dedicated GPU, let alone an old MacBook, and yet, here we are. You know, I only picked this thing up because of how cheap it was. I thought it would make a great companion to my personal mid-2010 MacBook Pro, which this video was originally going to be about. Instead, I think it's going to replace it. Not only is this laptop smaller and more powerful, it was also cheaper. I bought this MacBook Pro for $50. Less than a quarter the price I spent getting my 2010 Mac to where it is today. The only upgrade I did was throw in a spare 250 gig SSD I had lying around. Even if I were to include the price I paid for that SSD years ago, this is a $70 flagship device that works like new 13 years later that actually games. And that is why this MacBook impresses me so. Thank you for watching, and good night.